Hello students, how are you all of you? Today I am going to test your knowledge on concepts and formulas which are very useful for your exam point of view to get 100% in your section A. Now, so I am going to make a formulas in the form of a fill up the blanks. So by stopping the video, go through the statements and write your answers. After that, you verify yourself. Check your answers now. Number of rational numbers between any two rational numbers is infinite. I hope all of you have done correctly. Non-terminating and non-repeating decimals are known as irrational numbers. In the Euclid's division algorithm, A equal to BQ plus R, the range of remainder R is 0 less than or equal to R less than B. So R value can be 0 up to the divisor, but it cannot be equal to B. It will be less than B. If a rational number of the form P by Q, where P and Q are co-prime and Q is not of the form 2 to the power of m into 5 to the power of n, where m and n are non-negative integers, then the decimal expansion is of the form non-terminating and repeating. So check your answers and then mark it how many you have done correctly. Go through a few more concepts by stopping the video and write your answers and then verify. Now, check yourself. Every composite number can be expressed as a product of prime factors in a unique way is known as fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Sixth one. A polynomial of the form a0 plus a1x plus a2x square and so on, an x power n, where an not equal to 0, then n must be non-negative integer. Here, the meaning of non-negative integer means it can take the value 0 also, that is 0 onwards all positive integers, because positive integers means 0 is not included. That's why the word you need to write as non-negative integer. Next, seventh one. If one root of a polynomial whose coefficients are rational and one of the zeros is 2 plus root 3, then one more must be of the form. I remember what should be. It must be the conjugate of this. So what is the conjugate of this? Wherever irrational part is there, that sign you need to change it. That is 2 minus root 3. Next, one more. The number of zeros of zero polynomial is. Now, first you think of what is meant by a zero polynomial. So the meaning of zero polynomial is all the coefficients must be 0. That means here A0 must be 0, A1 must be 0, A2 must be 0. Then all the coefficients are 0. When all the coefficients are 0, whatever may be the x value, if you substitute, it will become 0 only. That is, the number of zeros will be infinite. And what about the degree of it? So the degree of it is not defined or undefined. Count yourself now. In this, how many of the statement you have done correctly? So this is very, very important for the polynomial chapter. So observe the graph and try to answer it and then verify. So here, the graph of the quadratic is open upwards. That is, the shape is a parabola which is open upwards. Now, here the graph is intersecting the y-axis at a point P and it is symmetric about this line. Now, first one, the sign of A is, that is coefficient of x square. When it is open upwards, the coefficient of x square A must be positive. Now, when it is intersecting the y-axis at a point P, so the coordinates of P will be, x coordinate will be 0 and y coordinate will become C. That is, when x is 0, f of 0 is C. Next, the graph is symmetric about this line. Now, anybody knows this equation? X equal to minus b by 2a. Minimum value of the polynomial. Now, when I substitute this value x equal to minus b by 2a in the polynomial and simplify, that value becomes the minimum value. That is this point corresponding. So this is the minimum value. So when you simplify, it will be 4ac minus b square upon 4a. Or we can write using the discriminant formula minus d upon 4a, where d corresponds to discriminant of the quadratic, that is d square minus 4ac. Next, if alpha, comma, beta, comma, gamma are zeros of the cubic polynomial, p of x equal to ax cube plus bx square plus ax plus d, then what is the sum of the zeros? So the sum of the zeros is minus times coefficient of x square upon coefficient of x cube, that is minus b upon a. Next, sum of the products taken two at a time, that is alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha. Now, when it comes in the first, when it is sum, it is minus, then here it will be plus. So coefficient of x upon coefficient of x cube, that is c upon a. So you can remember easily as first one will come minus, next one will come plus. Next, again you can guess easily, it will be minus of what? That is product of all the zeros, which is constant term upon coefficient of x cube, that is minus d upon d. So these are very important formulas you should remember, so that it will help you in the essay type question, long answer type questions. Observe the statements relating to the pair of linear equations in two variables and stop the video and then write your answers. The pair of linear equations a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0 are consistent. Then the number of solutions. Now, what is the meaning of consistent? Consistent means it will have a solution. once it has a solution, then it can be one solution or it can be infinite solution. So the number of solutions are 1 or infinite. Either it can have one solution or it can have an infinite solution. Then we can say the equations are consistent. Now, next, inconsistent. Now, what is the meaning of inconsistent? Inconsistent means there is no value of x satisfying both the equations. That means the number of solutions is 0. Next, intersect in a unique point. That means when you plot this in the same coordinate plane, so and they are intersecting a unique point, under what condition of the coefficients? Now, so the condition must be a1 upon a2 is not equal to b1 upon b2. So coefficient of x ratio must be not equal to the coefficients of y variable ratio. Once if this condition is satisfied, then you will have a solution. Then what could be the formula for x and y? So by using the elimination method or substitution method or cross multiplication method, you can derive and you can remember it as a formula. So x equal to b1 c2 minus b2 c1 upon a1 b2 minus a2 b1, and y equal to c1 a2 minus c2 a1 upon a1 b2 minus a2 b2. Now if you observe the denominator, which is a1 b2 minus a2 b1. So here we have taken a condition a1 by a2 not equal to b1 by b2. That is a1 b2 minus a2 b1 is not equal to 0. That is the denominator is not equal to 0. Hence the solution is x's. Next, one more. So the pair of linear equations are coincident. That means both represent the same geometrically. So under what condition? So the coefficients of x ratio, y ratio and constant must be equal. That is a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2 equal to c1 upon c2. Then we can conclude that the two lines coincident and you will have infinite solutions. So when you plot geometrically, they look like the same line. Next, parallel if a1 upon a2 equal to b1 upon b2 but not equal to c1 upon c2. So coefficients of x ratio and y ratio must be the same but not equal to the constants ratio. Then geometrically if you observe, they will be parallel and there is no value of x and y satisfying both the equations. So in the exam, there will be so many problems related to this concept. So if you remember, you can answer it very easily. I hope whatever so far is over, you have done all correctly. Now test yourself again few more. These are very important. Here, the first one, this problem is given in the sample paper of the CBSE board which is released. So if you know the formula properly, then you can able to answer that question also easily. So stop the video and write all the answers and then verify. Let the speed of the boat in still water be x km per hour and speed of the stream be y km per hour. Then speed of the boat upstream is. So the answer now. X minus y kilometer per hour. So in the upstream, the speed will be get reduced. How much it will be get reduced by y? That is x minus y kilometer per hour. Whereas in the downstream, it will move fast. So the speed will get increased. So the speed will become now x plus y kilometer per hour. So sometimes most of the students will make a mistake in this only. So you have to be very careful. If the quadratic equation has rational roots, then the discriminant of it must be. Now, so if you observe the formula of the quadratic equation, the discriminant portion will be inside the square root. That is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So the roots are rational, means inside the root must be a perfect square. Then only the root will become a rational. That is here, the discriminant must be perfect square. If ax square plus bx plus a equal to 0 has more than 2 real roots, then the coefficient a comma b comma c must be. Now, we know that for a quadratic equation, you will have at most 2 real roots only. But here it is given that more than 2 real roots. When it is more than 2 real roots, is possible only when all the coefficients must be 0. That is a equal to b equal to c equal to 0. That means it must be a 0 polynomial. And in this case here, this is also called an identity. Why? Because whatever may be the value of x, this will always get satisfied. If quadratic expression is a perfect square, then the discriminant of the corresponding quadratic equation is. Now, so here we are saying that quadratic expression is a perfect square. When the quadratic expression is a perfect square, then for the corresponding quadratic equation, the roots must be what? Equal. Once the roots are equal, then the discriminant must be what? 0. So far we have discussed the 15 points. Check how many of you have done correctly all the 15. Hi students. So we'll continue few more concepts of this in the next session. If anybody wants to have live classes of this type and doubt sessions and case study questions, so you can join in a group, and it is free only, free of cost only. So send your details to this contact number 7620240613 and visit the channel and subscribe it and try to encourage and share to your friends. Thank you.